This is the plaintiff, Richard Brown. He says he hired the defendant to install a new roof on his house, and apparently he subbed the job out to a bunch of kids who had no idea what they were doing. The defendant laughed in his face when he complained about his shoddy work, which won't pass inspection. And he's here suing a louse for $2,000. The cost to repair his roof. This is the defendant, John Freer. He says he did a great job for his neighbor and gave the guy a great deal. The plaintiff's an extremely cheap man. He's been doing roofing work since he's 18 years old, and the plaintiff is not going to have a leg to stand on today. He's accused of creating a leaky situation.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Richard Brown, you are suing your former friend and neighbor, John Freer, for $2,000 that you estimate it will cost to fix an inadequate roof that you say he installed on your home.
Yes, ma'am.
So you hire him to do your roof. Do you have the original contract that you signed with him?
Yes.
May I see it?
Thank you, sir.
Roofing work at above address. Remove all roofing. Plywood replacement is $60 per sheet, I guess as needed.
That's
if it was rotted.
Correct.
So it was a shingle roof?
Asphalt shingle.
Okay, so you ripped all of that out, and then the deal you have with him is he's going to pay you how much? $5,280 plus
plywood.
Plywood that would be replaced only if necessary, because some
Right.
plywood rots underneath the shingles and some doesn't.
Correct.
How many did you have to replace?
There's quite a few boards on that.
10 boards. But
Right, it was just-
install ice shield at all butter lines? What
Gutter
is it?
lines. At the gutter line.
Oh, gutter line.
At the eave, right.
I was wondering what a butter line was.
Butter line.
I was going to stand in it. All right, at all gutter lines. Install lifetime 50-year timber line. What does that mean?
Timberline is a dimensional shingle. It's from a specific brand, but that's just the style of shingle it is. It's a solid shingle with 2 layers thick on 4 parts of the bottom of it.
Reflash where necessary on it. What does reflash mean?
Reflashing is installing aluminum at walls. You have to do that to keep it watertight because the shingle will just right into the wall without the aluminum flashing, a certain size.
Where
bent in it.
necessary on all walls and chimney. Install new pipe.
Flanges.
What are those?
Flanges are what goes over the pipe to keep it watertight. If you come up with just the shingles, you'll have the hole. You actually go up to the pipe, put the flange down, roof around the back of the flange, and the water runs downhill onto the flange and onto the shingles.
Clean and remove all debris. 10-year warranty on labor. Job is to take 2 to 3 days to complete. All right, so you do the job, and that job is done October of 2016, correct?
Correct.
All right, when's the first time you hear from him?
Yeah, I heard from him probably 3 months ago. And he had said he had a home inspection. The home inspection had determined, this, and this.
Yeah, I had a lot of complaints. Tell me about the home inspection. You were trying to sell it?
When I put the house on the market, and I didn't go up on the roof. I didn't realize that when the roof actually, John did the skylight, the roof had a dip in it where that it should have been bored. If it's a dip in it, that's a problem. It should not be a dip. It should be like
flat.
You have like a total like a shape like this.
Yeah.
If it's just dipping in it, your job is to find out. I mean, what? When you strip the roof, if it's a bad board, I'm paying you for board. If it's more, you just say, Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown.
There should be no dip. It collects water. It's a problem.
This is what picture guy you have to see. I have to show you, if you don't mind.
Let me see the pictures.
Thank you.
So what happens, though?
I contact John had to be about over 15 times. What I mean, I went by the house several times.
Wait, no. But the first thing that happens is, did you have a buyer who hired an inspector who went up there?
That came along. Yes, I did.
Okay, so when you're calling him, that's after the inspector.
That's before that incident came about. Because
why are you calling him 15 times?
Because John, they left stuff like the flasher or the aluminum, stuff was hanging. I told John, I said, you need to come and check out, see some of your work. He called me, he said, I'm coming. And he don't show, so.
And that's visual damage you're seeing?
This visual damage, because I'm stepping back and seeing that, damn, they got a slope in over the skylight. So I was telling him, John, you need to come and see because now, I told you your skylight is old. John, it ain't about the skylight no more. You need to come and see. So the thing is, he haven't made no attempt. I made several.
So then get to this point.
Okay.
So you get an offer on the house, or somebody wants to inspect the house. They hire their own inspector.
Yeah.
That inspector issues a report.
Yeah.
Do you have that report?
Yes, I do.
Did you end up going on the roof?
Yes.
Did someone? What is this a picture of? This first one? I'm going to need you to come on over
Sir,
here.
you come up. Right on this corner.
Right there on that corner. All right. What is that a picture of? What am I supposed to see in that picture? I'm at?
This is the duct. This is the flash around the chimney,
Right.
where that wasn't put on properly.
Okay. Can you show me in that picture what's
well,
not proper?
Right here, this is the same picture, but what happened is it should be under the shingle, not on top of the shingle. Plus, it's with cork with. Instead of it actually laying flat to the chimney, it's open. It's so much open where the people came up there and they rejected. So much.
So, because, like, in other words, that gap between this metal thing and the chimney.
And it went all the way around.
What's that a picture of? Tell me what I'm
These
seeing.
are the nails where that you'll see a better one where they just threw tar on it. And this is where that the flash where that.
That's supposed to be under the shingle.
Yes, and this is the bad work we call patch up, and this is where that you'll see another one to a decaying. Now it's not even a year yet, and when water, if you're not done properly, water will run under it and it run into the kitchen. So I wanted to ask him, could he come back, take a look at the gentleman, because I like John. I found John to be a pretty good neighbor, but don't shaft me after you do the work.
What's this a picture?
That's nails, unacceptable. Look, I've been a contractor, general contractor, for over 38 years.
You're a general contractor. You weren't on the roof before paying the roofer?
Because I trust a man.
What do you trust that way? If anything, you've lived long enough to know that you need to check it out. Go ahead, go back.
Okay.
What say you to this? Come on over here.
I can't see it.
Did you ever go back up on that roof when he was complaining?
I was on it.
Okay. What's up with that?
It's sealed.
I don't know what that means. Isn't this supposed to be under the shingles? And isn't this
No,
not
this
supposed?
is
And isn't this supposed to be
All right.
flush against the brick?
All right, first off, when you have a chimney, you have a three-part flashing system. You have your bottom pan, your top pan over the back, step flashing up the side, and then counter flashing around the perimeter of that. What you're looking at is counter flashing. There's flashing underneath that also. There's a back pan that runs down and then up and under the shingles. You can't see it. You're not supposed to see it. It's supposed to be hidden,
but
right?
why is there a gap?
Because these brick, right, when you're bending metal for brick, you have to bend the metal out at the top and then seal it on the top.
Yeah, but that doesn't look very good.
What it
And it's not, I don't mean aesthetically. I mean in terms of what may happen.
as far as aesthetics, right? Roofing isn't all aesthetics.
As I said, I don't mean aesthetically that it doesn't look good. I mean as far as, possible water and ice intrusion later. There's a big gap.
It's not a gap. It's sealed. It is sealed around the perimeter of the top.
Not according to the people who came and took a look at it. And then what's the deal with the depression there?
Right. If you look, this is the skylight. Right above here, right? The skylight flange comes up and around the perimeter of the back, right? It's not actually that it's not actually that it's depressed. It's that it's actually built up from the flange going around the perimeter. That height difference causes the shingles at the top.
Yeah, but can't you
to
compensate
seem
for that
depressed.
when you're putting a new roof in?
You're not supposed to. It's not something that's an issue after the fact. I mean, if there was...
But wouldn't water gather?
No, water's not
Let's
gathering.
see what the inspector says. Do you have the inspector's report? All right, you can go ahead and go back. Roof appeared to be newer, but had sections that were raised, and the roof line in the rear was depressed over the kitchen. The flat roof had bubbling, and sealant was missing around the edges where the roof meets the home. Specifically saying that it's not sealed. Recommend repairs to shingles that are not flush against the sheathing and sealing all possible water penetration points, flat roof and flashing areas. Further evaluation of sheathing and framing due to depressed area and no view of interior roofing. That's what he's recommending. All right, flashing valleys. Flashing around chimney and dormers was poorly installed and should be flush and sealed to prevent water intrusion. All trim was deteriorating. Some areas were rotting and missing. This is 8 months or how many months after the roof?
Not even a year.
Not even a year.
I do want to point out, Your Honor, that I went down to the township yesterday. He had gotten a building permit on the job. The township inspector passed the roof. So I just want to make a note that...
Yeah, but you warranty your work, right?
Right. Now, here's the thing also.
Flashing and caulking around skylights did not appear adequate. Water leakage may occur. Damage and previous repairs noted at interior indicates the skylight has leaked in the past. Moisture meter indicated the area was dry on the day of inspection.
Dry.
Yeah, I know. Monitor for leakage and repair as necessary. All right. So according to you, you've gone out and you've obtained an estimate from a roofer, another roofer, as to how much it would cost to repair the things that are in question, correct?
Yeah, and he from Newark, and he came and stepped back and took a look and told me what he can do. As I have this.
Did he go on the roof?
Well, he did when the partial up. He looked back and then went up to the ladder because he was doing my neighbor Pat's house, and he got a phone call and he was telling the guy, "I'll be there. I'll be right there." So he was doing Pat.
Okay, go ahead and hand
And this is his information, and this is the other one.
Did you try to get him to come back?
Ma'am.
And what's your answer to that?
Thank you, please.
Yeah, my answer to that.
Yeah, please.
My answer to that is at the end of the job, right? The $160 that I was owed, he paid me $100. At the end of the job, he says, "I'll owe you the $60." So I said, "You know what? Okay, fine. I'll wash my hands of it." And I walked away from the job, and I'm not going to do no favors for somebody.
It's a $6,000 job. I mean, he says you told him just forget the 60, but what difference does that make?
No. It's not a matter of just forget the 60. It's somebody says, "I'll owe you $60" at the end, and then he never comes by to pay me the $60.
Okay, but I don't understand. Is your position that when somebody pays you all but $60 of a $6,000 job, there's no warranty?
No,
what is it you're saying?
No. The warranty is on leaks, okay? Is the roof leaking now? No. So there's always going to be some degree of bubbling.
According to the new roofing company, they believe the following needs to be done. Replace 4x8 sheet CDX plyboard for 100 square feet. He feels like you didn't replace enough plyboard.
I replaced 10 sheets. There was no, I mean, why replace any sheets if I replaced 10? I mean, why would I not replace another sheet? That makes no sense.
And how can he had it? Go ahead. What were you going to say?
And also he's going off a guesstimate here. Let's point that out too, because he didn't pull the shingles up. He doesn't know what's underneath.
Right. That's what I was about to say. How does he know that 100 square feet? Because this is basically, hey, give me an estimate for the following. How much you think this should cost? This isn't what needs to be repaired specifically. The estimate doesn't say, this is what's wrong with the roof and this is what it will cost to fix. It's just an estimate for, 100 square feet, which we don't know if 100 square feet is necessary.
Well, if you tear up, he asked you got that, if you tear up the shingle, because you have to rip up the shingle, and you have to put down new plyboard over the skylight.
I know how you do the roof. What I'm saying is he hasn't even gone on the roof and he gives a $1,400 estimate.
May I speak?
Not if you're going to repeat yourself.
Nope.
You're going to say something new and elucidating?
Yep.
I'll be the judge of that.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, is waiting a year to complain about a roof too long?
Yes, I think so.
Why?
If it's not written in the contract or there's no warranty, then it should be.
I'm going to disagree with you, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I think it's too long.
Why?
Because you should have known.
Okay, let's try it a different way. How long should a roof last?
It should last at least 10 years.
Okay, so if they complain after a year and there are problems with a year, is a year too long?
I would say no. It depends if it was faulty work, though.
Well, that's true. That's always true. Going inside the courtroom.
As a loyal person I am, took him as a friend, make sure that, hey, you take your words, and you're the contractor. I look for you to do the job right. And most of all, went by there 15 or 16 times. I figured he came by as a gentleman to say, Brown, let me see what you're talking about. But to laugh at me, it almost got to where, John, I would either take you to court or have to get into your face and do something that should be take care of business, because you don't do your neighbor that way.
Okay, don't talk to each other. We're talking right now about the case.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. He should have called you back, and at some point he just, there was no customer service. The question, though, is what are your damages? And your damages are very speculative, because I don't have you giving me an estimate on what it will cost to repair the things you're complaining about. So, were there any leaks?
No, that's when I actually went and checked. But there's again, the roof not straight.
And why are you suing for $2,000 if your own estimate was $1,450?
Well, this is the pain and suffering that I lost a home. He put us through. No, I'm just saying too, because when you approach a young man several to 15 times and he take you for a joke, then when you put a high number like that, then he recognized you. It seems like you don't get no respect until you slap him, and now you're getting respect.
Okay.
And you don't want to slap him.
Okay. No,
That's
don't
what- something
slap
like
him.
that. No, I'm just saying that's what the figure of speech of anything. A dog won't give you no respect until you say, hey, stop.
Don't slap the dog either.
Well, I rest the case on that one.
Okay. I am going to order as follows. I'm going to award the plaintiff at this time $500 to repair the things that I am looking at that I feel need repairing. Understand that that does not relieve you of the warranty.
No,
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
And you are free to, if in fact what you fear does happen, then you call him to repair it. And if he, in other words, if you get a leak, if you get a problem, all these things, you know, if the sky does come falling down, you are free to file another lawsuit. You understand that, right? For whatever damage that needs to be repaired at a later time. But at this time, all I can do is look at it and say, okay, he needs to hire somebody to get up there and do the things that were complained about in the report. Not he needs to hire somebody to replace 100 square feet of stuff. That's not a good measure of damages because this is entirely speculative.
Okay.
Verdict for the plaintiff, $500. That's my judgment.
Well, in a case that gave the judge some work to figure out what to do, Mr. Fair, the defendant, you're going to have to give him $500.
No, I don't feel it was necessary because nothing technically is broke and nothing's leaking, but, you know, the judge finds in her,
In his honor.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Will, you go back and fix whatever needs to be fixed. But you don't think anything needs to be fixed, right?
Well, it doesn't at this point until the water comes in, then it's broke.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard the judge's decision. She was in a quandary over this one, so
Yeah.
good for you. All right?
All right.
That's it. Here, Mr. Brown, if you'll come out now. Mr. Brown, let me just ask you, I know you were seeking more money. You were
Well,
$2,000, a little bit for pain and suffering.
Yeah.
But you got $500 now. What are you going to do?
Well, do I have to just leave it like it is?
I mean, nothing is leaking yet, though, right?
Well, it ain't the leaking, it's the part that is
It's
rotted
the
wood
dip.
under there.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought the judge would realize, that the wood is, he didn't replace the plywood.
Well-
And it need to be done,
Okay.
you know.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All righty. Thank you very much, sir. You must sign a few documents. Thank you.
Great job.
And that's it. Harvey, what do you think?
Doug, I got to say, there is a huge advantage hiring a licensed contractor because licensed contractors are bonded. You can check whether they're disciplined, whether they did a bad job, and otherwise you're rolling the dice.